that a whole lot of stuff has been written about issue of languages here in South Africa, uh, about the people known as Varemba. Varemba. These are the people that I'm going to be discussing today. They are also known as Black Jews. Um, as I said earlier on, that the whole lot of stuff has been written about them from genetic point of views, cultural point of views, and so on and so forth. But nobody has ever dared to ask these questions. What language did these people speak? What did the language do they speak? Did they speak Varembas? How do we know? Why the language has since died? Because when you look at the archives and records, you learn that the language spoken by Varemba people has died. But nobody has ever tried to follow up what kind of language did they speak, and how do we know that Varemba speak different languages compared to many South African blacks? Today, I'll try all my best to make sure that some of these questions are actually answered. So, just to give you a general overview of Varembas, Varemba people are the black people who stay among Bantus in South Africa. Many of them in South Africa. I'm looking at South Africa. I know that we've got Varemba in other countries outside South Africa, so I know them. So, but today my presentation will focus on Varembas that are found in South Africa, Limpopo region. This group of people stay among Bantus, but they've quite different cultures. They're the cultures which is quite different to the black people. In the past, these Varemba people were not only different uh, culturally, they were also different when it comes to their physical appearance and also their material cultures. The Varemba people, according to the records and oral history from Wakwena and the Bangonas, who are first people to be to meet this group, they believe that or they said that when they see the first time they see Bangona people were wearing the white clothes. These clothes in Chivenda are known as kanzu, and then this kanzu are actually they are the clothes that are when it's like they're like a dress. It's the rich ankle there. It's similar to kaftan, but not kaftan. But they call it kanzu. Kanzu is not a Chivenda name. It's a Kiswahili name which used by Swahili people in Tanzania or in Zanzibar. Kanzu it's name it's a name it is Kiswahili name meaning that long dress, when worn by men. Baremba people used to they used to get they obtain the material to make kanzu from a cotton, which is actually found in Limpopo. I think you remember that if you are familiar with some natural sciences courses, there's a specific types of cotton which is native to South Africa or other parts of Africa. It's called Gaspium abyssinium, which is actually found in Limpopo, where some Varemba use it to produce their clothes known as kanzu. The kanzu actually cannot be produced by Bantus because most Bantus use cow or animal leather or hides to make their clothes. So Varemba were different in terms of the clothes that they wear. You know, this is mainly owing to the fact that this material of cotton is actually found in Limpopo, so it's also helped them to produce that. The Baremba people are actually considered to be the master of magic arts, which means that they know how to play magic. I think you'll remember the issue of Ngoma Lungundu, which the Baremba often associated with. These Varemba people actually, as a masters of art, they were also good in working with coppers and irons. And you remember that the groups, they practice what you call selective endogamies. Uh, Many historians and anthropologists and other scholars, cultural observers, missionaries, they claim that Varemba practice endogamy. That's not true. They practice selective endogamy because Varemba women do get married. There are people who marry Varemba women, particularly traditional African chiefs. Even Varemba people did marry African women. That's a reality. Black Bantus white women. What makes them different is that the way in which they kill or they slaughter animals, it's actually connected to kosher, which is actually uh, known in Judaism. They also practice infant circumcision. That's different to Bantus, where kids are circumcised when they were still young, whereas among Bantu, the children have to grow. Historically, these guys were asked, where do you come from? And then when they were asked this question, they simply say that they come from the seas. You know, Apparently Tanzania, because of their traditions, which actually similar to those Swahili people from Tanzania, there is much evidence to suggest that in South Africa there are different kind of Varembas. There are not only two types. I think there are many types of Varemba in South Africa. There are those that that are related to Muslims, Arabs, and those that are related to Swahili people in Zanzibar, and there are others that are related to Jews. But all of them, they do share the same things: Semitic traditions. These people, Barembas, in the past, they used to have their own special prayers, where they recite some poem similar to Mashiri. The poem Mashiri is a Swahili poem. So Baremba used to actually practice this poem in the past. And then if you look at their names, the names of Varemba people, I'll give example. They are also found, the names are found among Northern Sotho and Bavenda. This guy who's a scholar, who was a professor, his name is Hamen Tuk. His guy, he once claimed that Varemba are related to Muslims, and nobody has ever tried to challenge him. And then, as compared to other people who have given vernacular account, like SM Zibani, MF Mamadi, and other missionaries like Jacques, uh, Reverend Jacques AA, and apartheid scholars like Van Varmelos, and other people like Junaid, who also wrote about this. Hamen Kluge seems to have provided a very relevant information that could help us to understand the language which Baremba speaks, even though he didn't write about languages. So I think if we use Hamen Tuk, um, suggestions, we might find the answer which language Baremba spoke. And this language, it is said that it has since died. But now, if you look at the names that Varemba people used, you can see that the language that was actually spoken by Varemba, which has since died, it's Kiswahili. Why? How do we know that it's Kiswahili? Varemba people use the term Wasenzi. Wasenzi is actually it's a Swahili term. But in Chivenda, Bavenda people also use the word. Bavenda people say Vasenzi, and then these Vasenzi are sometimes are said to be people of singles. But in Swahili, the word Vasenzi actually it is negative connotation. It actually means uncivilized people. So another terms that can link uh, these people, Varemba, with the so-called Swahili coast are their names. We've got in northern Lesotho, we've got people known as Satige, Satige. These Satige people are it's from Sadiq. We also have the Madi names. These are the information that actually was generated by previous scholars. But among our vendors, you only among Barembas who stay among northern Sotos, there is so much evidence that link Baremba people with Semitic people, particularly those from Tanzania. Those from Tanzania who speak Swahili, they'll agree with me in this one. Uh, we have got people named as Hassan, Hassan in Chivenda. We also have Hamisi, Al Hamis. Those are Al Sadiq, those Seremani, Al Solomon. Those are the names that actually rooted in Arab peninsulas and also in Tanzania in the so-called Swahili coast. They are black people who have the same cultural issues. You see the difference between uh, the Swahili people and Arab. Actually, maybe it's the skin colors, but when it comes to the cultures, some of those Swahili people are related to the so-called Arab cultures. So that's what I can tell you. That's what I can tell you so far.